Welcome to Biology My Passion. I am Soumya Harikrishna. We are learning the chapter Excretory Products and their Elimination. The process of release of urine out of the body is called a micturition. It is caused by a reflex called a micturition reflex. We know as and when the urine is formed in the kidneys, it will come to the pelvis and get collected. From there, these ureters will bring it to the urinary bladder. Urinary bladder keeps collecting this urine till it is completely filled. So once its capacity is reached, usually urinary bladder can collect up to 500 ml of urine. So once it is completely filled, when more and more urine comes, its wall will start stretching. So once it starts stretching, the receptors are there. Who are there? Stretch receptors are there on the walls. These stretch receptors will send a message to the central nervous system, that is to the brain, telling that, okay, the bladder is full, I cannot hold anymore, do something. The brain will send message, or CNS will send a message through the motor message to the muscles of the urinary bladder that the contraction of the smooth muscle should happen here. So that will ultimately lead to voiding out of the urine. You know that it is a voluntary action to a greater extent, but beyond a point it becomes involuntary also. So, in this case, urine which is passed out, we know that on a daily basis we are passing out almost 1.5 liters of urine. So, through that urine, almost 25 to 30 grams of urea we excrete out per day. And when we talk about the specifications of urine, urine has pH 6, means slightly acidic, and it has yellow color because of the urochrome. Because after the blood cells, RBCs have only 120 days lifespan. After that it is degraded in the spleen. So as a result, pigment is formed, urochrome, that is giving yellow color to the urine. And there is an order for the urine, but we know that if urine is exposed to air for a longer period of time, it will become very pungent smell. That is because of the formation of ammonia. Then normally the urine should not have the presence of glucose, ketone bodies and all, but if there is a presence of glucose or ketone bodies, presence of glucose is called glucosuria and ketone bodies is called ketonuria. These two are symptoms of diabetes mellitus. We know diabetes is a condition where body is not able to regulate the amount of blood sugar. As a result, excess glucose is secreted out through the urine. That is called diabetes mellitus. There is another condition called diabetes insipidus, where excess water is going out of the body. Then albumin is sometimes may be there. Albumin is a protein, so then we call it as albuminuria. And sometimes during urinary infection, the urine may have the presence of WBC or pus cells, then that is called a pyuria. Apart from nitrogenous waste, there are other wastes formed in our body. We mentioned all those in the beginning of this chapter. So the first one is the lungs. Lungs can excrete out 200 ml of carbon dioxide per minute through the exhaled air. So this also contains a lot of water in it. Then another thing is our liver. Liver has lots of functions. Liver is the one which is secreting out bilirubin, biliverdin, cholesterol, degraded steroids, vitamins, minerals, drugs. Detoxification of drug is a function of liver. So liver is playing a crucial role in maintaining or removing the waste from our body, or toxic waste from our body. Another one is our sweat. We have sweat gland on our skin. So along with the water, we will be releasing out certain minerals and salts in the sweat. Why do we sweat? Sweating is a process of regulating our body temperature. Then finally we have sebaceous glands. Sebaceous glands are also present on the skin, which secretes an oily substance called a sebum, which is a collection of sterols, wax and hydrocarbons. This oily substance is actually a protective covering. So the sebum is more active during your age, that is adolescent period. Most of you may have the oily skin, but actually we don't like that, because as soon as the oil comes, our face looks dull. Nobody likes it, right? But actually on a long run, this is very useful to you, because the oily skin is protected with that sebum or oil. As a result, you will not age fast, because your skin will not be wrinkled fast. Only dehydrated skin or the dry skin will undergo wrinkles and aging very quickly, but oily skin is well protected. So natural oil is actually a blessing, though it is not that appreciable by all of us. So these are all acting as a excretory organs. Like any other chapter, this chapter also concludes with the disorders of the system. So first one is called a uremia. If the kidney is not functioning properly, urea gets accumulated in the body. That condition is called a uremia. So in order to remove this urea, we have to depend on hemodialysis. I have done a video on hemodialysis for class 10. I will give the link in the description box or above so that you can watch that video in case you need it. So dialysis is only a temporary process, but if it is for a long run, your kidneys are failing, both the kidneys are failing, then the option is only transplantation. Whenever we transplant, we have to go for close relatives with a blood matching and a tissue matching, then the chance of rejection is less. Then another condition is called the renal calculi. Renal calculi, commonly we call it as kidney stone. Kidney stone is caused by the accumulation of certain crystals or oxalates in our kidney, which can be painful at times. So initial stages we can melt it and excrete out through the urine, but in higher cases we may have to break it using laser technology and other treatments are available now. And if there is an inflammation in the glomerulus of the kidney, that is called a glomerulonephritis. Hope you understood all the concepts I am discussing. Please do me a favor, when you are watching, if you are finding it is useful, please give me a like. It makes a lot of difference to my videos, and I am getting comments from you all that your video is underrated, it's very good, like that. So if so, at least each one of you can share to minimum one person, it will reach more students and they all will get benefited. Please help me in reaching out to more audience. Thank you for watching Biology My Passion.